Hi guys, it's Natalie Zangon with another of my MFD clinical study support group. So today I wanted to discuss with our family and our different theoretical approaches. And I had mentioned before that I tried to make them into subcategories to better help me remember them. So I divided them into 5 groups: psychodynamic, humanistic, experiential, CBT, system, and postmodern. So today I wanted to discuss some of the ones that are related to systems, which under systems we have the general system, we have Bowen, we have strategic family therapy, structural family therapy, and Satir family therapy. So someone posted this very helpful outline on the MFT guide, which I found it to be so helpful, and I wanted to read it for you guys because it's like a really nice way of understanding and remembering it. So first we're going to do with strategic concepts. It's under marriage and family therapy models. It's from a book that they went over it. So one thing that we need to remember is that with strategies, family members are often perpetual problems by their own action. So directive tailored to the specific needs of the particular family can sometimes bring about sudden and deceived change. People resist change. You cannot communicate. People are always communicating. Symptoms are a message. It is only a problem if the family describes it as such. So you can't put a problem onto a family. It's only a problem if the family has a problem with it. Needs problem develop in skewed hierarchy. Motivation is power. And the concepts under strategics are: symptoms are messages, family homeostasis, family rules unspoken. These are like the family rules that are unspoken. You just know, like, let's say when a father looks a certain way or a mother does a certain grin, everyone in the family knows what it represents. Intergenerational collisions, first and second order of change, metaphor, reframing. These are all under strategic. Symptoms serve as a function, content and process, report and command in continuous hierarchies, ordeal. These are again all under strategic. Paradox, paradoxal injunction, pretend techniques like madness, go slow messages. Role of the therapist are: expert position, responsible for creating conditions for change, work with resistance of client to change, work with the process, not the content. So they're very into with the process of how it's going. Take a lot of credit and responsibility for the change. However, therapist tells clients that they are responsible for the change. Active, paradox, directive, assignment, homework giving, that interrupt sequence, interrupt unhelpful sequence of interaction, metaphor, stories, ordeal, again go slow, prescribe the symptoms. So they're very into prescribing the symptoms. And we have pretend techniques. The change happens in breaking the pattern in any way. Differences that makes a difference. Change occurs outside of session. In session, changes in viewing homework and change in viewing. Self of the therapist needs to be very careful with the ethic in this model. It can be very manipulative, paradox, and a lot of responsibility is on the therapist as an expert. Evaluation. Very little research has been done. Do clients report change? If so, then it's effective. So the client reports the changes that they are experiencing. And then for for the assessment, define the problem clearly and find out what people have done to try to resolve it. Hypothesis, metaphorical nature of the problem, elicit goals from each family member, and then reframe it into one agreed upon goal. Assess sequence pattern. Goals in therapies are help the family define clear, reachable goal, break the pattern, first and second order of change, ideally second order of change. We cannot make this happen. It is spontaneous. And realigning the hierarchy. So this was under strategic. Next, we're going to discuss, this is solution focus. I wanted to also go over satir because these are like all under the same family. Hold on one second. Because I feel like if we learn these together, it will help us to better understand them as under one family. Sorry, I'm just trying to look for it. Hold on. So we did strategic right now. So now we're going to go into, we did strategic right now. So now actually there's a little bit more of satir. Strategic. So, okay, again, family, okay, so we discussed that. Okay, so interventions under strategic are paradox, directive, interpret unhelpful sequence, go slow, concept, symptoms are a message. I read that for you guys. So intervention, paradox, directive, client decides, termination. Client decides when to terminate with the help of the therapist. When pattern is broken and the client reports that the problem is no longer exists. So this is up to the client that brings it up and shares it with us. And symptoms are a message. We spoke about reframing, first order of change, second order of change. And let's go to our next theory. So this was, we just discussed strategic. Next, we're going to go over structural. So the structural is problem resides with a family structure. So I said that structural, I think about the foundation and the structure of the home. Changing the structure changes the experience of the client. Don't go from a problem to a solution. We just move gradually. Children's problems are often related to boundary between the parents, marital versus parental system, and the boundary between the parents and the children. So structural is also very into boundaries. So think about borders, boundary, foundation is all under structural. Structural change, clarify, realign, mark boundary, individual of family members in fear of the boundaries from the patterns of interaction amongst family members. Change the pattern to realign the boundaries to make them more closed open. So family structure, boundaries, is it rigid? Is it clear? Is it diffuse, disengaged, normal range, enmeshment? Roles, who interacts with whom and how. This is what the structural therapist would pay attention to. Hierarchy, subsystems, cross-generational cohesion, parentified child. So he also pays attention to that. Is this child taking a role of a parent? Has this child become parentified? Interventions, join and accommodate mimesis under structural mapping, highlight and modify interaction, unbalance, change an unproductive assumption, raise intensity so that the system must change. Interventions are disorganize and recognize, shape competence through enactment, so structural, shape competence through enactment. When do you terminate? Problem is gone and the structure has changed. Second order of change. Problem is gone and the structure has not changed. First order of change. Self of the therapist joins with the system to facilitate the unbalancing of the system. Caution with induction. Don't get sucked into the content area, usually related to personal hotspots. Evaluation. Strong support for working with psychosomatic children, adult drugs, and anorexia. So that was part of structural. So we covered structure and strategic is what we discussed right now. So let's see next. I would love to go see if we have anything solution focus is on this one. So I think for this now we're going to discuss Bowen. So with Bowen, the past is currently and influencing the present. Change can happen. Individual can move along with the process of affirmation, differentiation, ability to maintain a self in face. Actually, I'm going to do Bowen as its own. So I will upload another one. So this video covered strategic and structural. Thank you for watching.